Hey Faye, how you doing? How are you?
It's a little cloudy tonight. I don't think I'll be seeing Jupiter.
Yeah, it's nice here though. It's still beautiful, I think. I don't know what it's probably like 74 here or something like that. 76, something like that. Oh, I haven't felt that great in the last few days. Did you eat any of those fish that you caught? Yeah, god damn. Yeah, I hope not. Did you have COVID, Faye? Oh, good. Good. Yes, it is, Mary. Purple Haze. Jimi Hendrix. Yep. How you doing?
I don't think I'm going to be seeing Jupiter tonight. It's hoping I don't think I'm going to see the moon either. It's like some overcast. So I think what we're going to do is, just dragging my feet. I don't even feel like building a house, to tell you the truth. So anyway, we're going to build this maintenance building to keep the equipment in and have an air-conditioned workshop and that kind of shit. And I'm going to build my living quarters on the back of that. It's still going to be all wood inside and all that stuff. And I'm going to have my beekeeping thing too. So it's going to be like a combo unit. Total man cave. I don't want like a typical house anyway. It's just so boring. You know what I mean? Just living room and bedrooms and all this bullshit chicken kitchen. I'm so sick of that. I want to be able to urinate out the second floor and make a target in a bucket and just grade myself for improvement during the course of a month. Because I'll have no female around being able to bitch at me for being so barbaric and uncouth. I'm going to be liberated free.
That's it.
Oh, it's going to have a big library. It sure is. Yep. I'm going to have a full-size movie screen where I'm going to be able to show Deep Throat and Debbie Does Dallas while I get sloshed on dragon's milk. With no wife bitching me out. No girlfriend saying, this is weird. It's going to be total nirvana. It'll be so great. It's going to personify every man's deep, dark dream. Yeah. It's going to be so great. I'm going to open garage doors on each end of the house and take a pressure washer to clean the floor every month. Seriously. It's going to be so great. Yeah, thank you. That's my girl, Faye. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I want to really impress the hell out of you. Of course, you guys are going to have to drink some wine before you do that, or you're your social mores just won't allow you to feel comfortable, and I don't want it to skew your grading abilities. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can do it too. You guys are at a big disadvantage because I don't think you can look back that far, can you? Yeah, I think you'd need to be handicapped, just like golf. It'd be so great. Yeah, it's really going to be a lot of fun. Now I'll put you in a harness. I'll order one of the four-wheeler harnesses and put 2 safety straps on it. I don't want you using that as an excuse if Faye happens to beat you. Because this baby could, like, there's no way it could fall to the ground. I'm going to let you fall off the edge, like 4 or 5 feet, just so you don't, get sloppy up there every time and act like you know what you're doing when you don't. I'm not going to catch you before you go over the edge. It's going to be so fun. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we need to start doing. Just this boring horse shit of watching these crime shows and kayaking and walking through the woods. Put you to sleep. We need to bust out of these boring hobbies and do something fun. Yeah, I was watching them today in the International Space Station. They're out there on the outside of this thing fixing stuff. And they're all clipped to the thing so they don't, fly away into space. It's really kind of cool. And I got thinking, I wonder when these guys go poop, what's the deal? I got thinking about that. And there's a woman up there. She sounds like a real, regimented, take charge lady. Very professional. And she's basically calling out the orders when they're working on this thing on the outside of the space station. And, she's very nice, but very firm. It's like, no, you need to do this. We don't have that much time. Thank you. Appreciate it. Get that wrench. I want you to clip yourself over to here. I want you to get moving on that lens. And the guy'd say something. She said, we don't have time for that now. We're running out of time. We only have so much time. We need to complete these tasks. But she was very good. I'll tell you, for some reason, too, I love to watch these female pilots. I don't know if that's like my deep down chauvinism, like they're exceptional because they can do it, where there's a billion men doing it. It's no big deal. But I always really like seeing these women, the first officer and the captain, flying these big giant jets, A380s, 747s. It just seems kind of cool. I like watching it more than I do men flying. I don't know why. Hey, Frisky. Yeah, those athletes are unbelievable. Hey, Top Cat, how you doing? Yeah, I played a couple Big Ten college basketball player women in one-on-one. None of them could beat me in one-on-one. It's a lot better than it used to be. I watched the ESPN 30 for 30 the other night when the women won the gold medal, like in, what was it, 92 or something like that. It was really excellent. What a great coach they had. It was really fun watching. And like the deplorable conditions and the difference they had in traveling compared to the men, that kind of thing. No, those are just freak athletes. I had my 100-yard dash record for about 30 years in my high school, which wasn't that fast. I'd get smoked every time I'd go to the Spartan relays at Michigan State University. I wouldn't even make it through the first heat. But for a white guy in a white neighborhood, it was a pretty good time. And I was third in the 220. Yeah, I mean, my times were good, but I wasn't going to get me a scholarship anywhere. Believe it or not, I think my best sport was tennis, but I didn't like it. I didn't want to be a tennis player. Yeah, I tried moving up to the quarter mile. Forget it. No way. No, I was definitely a sprinter. You know, I look back on that, though, and I think a lot of it had to do with just never really being in shape. Oh, definitely can outrun the cops. Yeah, I've proven that. Yep, except when they corner me in a McDonald's parking lot. And it gets a little rough. I was outnumbered, though. Well, you look at the mile now, it's basically turned into a sprint. I think I'm an average basketball player. I mean, I was good at where I was from, but I couldn't have played in college anywhere, I don't think. I played in a summer pro-am thing one time at Michigan, University of Michigan. And you remember Anthony Carter, the wide receiver that played in the NFL? Uh, he's got a lot of records at Michigan, too. He was an All-American basketball player, too. And any thought that I had ever paying to the next level was dashed because I had to guard him for 2 games. And this guy was like dunking, reverse dunking. I think I scored 2 points one game and 1 point the other game. It was just unbelievable. He was tip dunking. I couldn't even get a shot off. Just so fast. He would blow by when he'd go by me. I'd have to follow him, or he was going to score. And he didn't. That wasn't even a sport in college. There goes a turboprop flying over the roof tonight. I cut a couple acres of grass tonight over across the street, which I never do. It's about 3 feet high. Yeah, you got to be gifted, man. I mean, I think I'm not gifted as an athlete, that's for sure. I mean, I think I'm okay in everything: pool, ping pong, running. I think I was better than an average kickboxer, average boxer. I could run fast, but I couldn't jump very high. It's weird. I dunked a volleyball once. That was the best I ever got. Yeah, but when you look at these really gifted athletes, like the people that make it to the pro level, it's like, man, these guys are like, got it, man. Just like so much better than the average guy. Especially these quarterbacks. I mean, these NFL quarterbacks, they could go deer hunting throwing footballs. I'm not shitting you. It's unbelievable how hard and far they can throw a ball with that kind of accuracy. Hey, Ballpark. I mean, they're just super good athletes. Oh, good for you, Mary. Yeah, I thought you did a good job, Dave. I thought that was a good job.
Oh, good, Jeff.
Oh, that's cool. So I'm kind of motivated on this man cave connected to a workshop. That interests me, but I just could not get into building a house. I was going to do brick and a metal roof and tile floors and good windows and all this bullshit. I just really couldn't get into it, to be honest with you. But this idea of making like a man cave attached to a maintenance building, that I like. You guys count in business. I'm gonna put an extra bedroom in there too, because the maintenance thing is going to be so big. I'll have lots of extra room to put extra bedrooms. You know, it's going to be a big building anyhow. So all the structure is already done. Yeah, I know. I like the looks of it. Well, the thing about it is the wood down here, man. I mean, it seems to hold up okay, but like these carpenter bees are one issue, which you can take care of different ways. I never was really into houses that much, to tell you the truth. I'll tell you, I was flipping through those shows the other night, though, and they showed a house in Anchorage, Alaska, on the outside of town. And when they showed it, it was like everything was great, like wood like mine, granite countertops, just gorgeous. I mean, usually when I see those, there's something I don't like. And this one, I thought, my God, man, this place is like a dream home. I would really like something like that. You know, just a nice kitchen, and it was just beautiful. And I thought, this thing's got to be $2 million. And it was only $950,000, which I thought was pretty reasonable. Now you got to live in Anchorage, which is a dump. Or outside Anchorage, so you got to go to Anchorage to do your shopping and stuff. You know, people, if you've never been to Alaska, you think Anchorage, yeah, you're going to go up there and watch the moose and the seaplanes. Yeah, you'll see some of that shit. But you also see crazy crime, tons of drug use, and a lot of filth. It is a fucking dump. Anchorage is an absolute shithole. What was that sprinter's name who they took all his medals away for steroids? Ben, what was his name? Ben what?
Oh, you like that, Susan?
Yeah, I mean, I beat like pretty much. I'll tell you what else I thought. I mean, I'm not bragging. I thought I was better than average. We had championships, the college I went to, and I took second place in badminton. I lost some big tall fucker that had been playing like forever, one-on-one badminton. But you know, I always thought badminton was just a pussy sport. And then I watched it, and then I played it, and I thought, wow, this is really good. But you play somebody that's really good. I had a doctor that was in an office building. I was in Dearborn, Michigan, and he had played badminton his whole life. And I was always talking shit to him, you know, you want to play some one-on-one, I'll kick your ass and anything. And we played badminton one time, and this guy just absolutely destroyed me. I don't think he moved 10 feet during the whole time. You know, they make that birdie go up the net and like die and then go right down the other side of the net. And then if you're returning a few of those, which is damn near impossible, they hit him into the back. I ran my goddamn ass off. I bet I ran 10 miles trying to play this son of a bitch, and he didn't go 10 feet the whole time. He was an excellent badminton player. But if that game's played well, it's it's a lot of skill associated with it. What was that sprinter's name? Ben? Was it Ben? I want to say Ben Carson. What was his name? Yeah, I never thought I was as in good a shape as I should have been. Be honest with you, not like it is today. What was that real fast sprinter's name? Ben who? Yeah, look it up. He got all his medals taken away. Looked like a damn racehorse. He was kicking everybody's ass. Ben Johnson. Yeah, yep, you're right. Yep, Ben Johnson. Yeah. You know, Eastern Michigan, where I went, used to have really good track teams. And it was a MAC school. It wasn't a Big Ten, which is kind of surprising. And I was thinking of trying out for the track team. And then when I looked at the times that these guys ran, it's like, I don't think so, man. I mean, these guys were taking like 99th place and running faster and everything that I ran in high school. But I did talk to the coach. His name was Parks. And while he was the coach there, they had a gold medal winner, Hazley Crawford from Trinidad, that took a gold medal in the Olympics. And I'd never, back then you didn't see too many pictures, like you didn't have the internet and stuff. And I always wondered what he looked like. And he won the 100 meters. And I think they had the 60 meters back then too. It was a shorter race. I forget what it was. But anyway, this guy was like 6'2", 220. Another guy that looked like a damn racehorse. Yeah, too bad. I was okay at snow skiing, okay at ice skating. I sparred with a guy that was ranked 4th by the WBA, Darren Morris. He was a welterweight down in West Palm Beach, and I thought he was going to murder me. I almost, I don't know if you've ever had this, when you're getting your ass handed to you, like Mike Tyson biting the ear off. But I can remember having thoughts, this was supposed to just be a fun, fucking around sparring session. And it may have been, but this, you misinterpret things sometimes. And I can remember we were going to spar. We did spar for 3 rounds. And I can remember thinking to myself, this motherfucker does this one more time to me, and this hurts that much, I'm going to tackle his ass and just fucking go off on him. And it was that whole 3 rounds that we were sparring. That was like I was just one little bit away from going and getting a chair and bashing it over his fucking head. Because I thought he was just trying to like really hurt me. It hurt, but he beat my ass so bad. I'm not shitting you, man. It felt like somebody blindfolded me with duct tape and took a baseball bat to me. I'm not kidding you, man. It's unbelievable. That's right. I don't think I'm going to see the moon tonight, too. It looks pretty overcast. I don't even see a little bit of a star coming through. And I would by this time, that poor bastard died of HIV in 93. Darren Morris. Look it up, West Palm Beach. He was actually a sparring partner of Sugar Ray Leonard. No, I mean, I've seen that happen in gyms before. If you don't know boxing or any of that, and you go to a gym and somebody's not kind to you or trying to help you along, it'll turn you off, because you'll get your ass beat so bad by somebody that's experienced. Where if you go to a good place, they're going to bring you up slow. They're not going to let you get slaughtered early on to lose your confidence. Yeah, it was not fun. No, when you're getting your ass beat that bad, man, all sorts of things going through your mind. And I got pissed, I thought I'm going to I'm gonna rough this fucker up, and I couldn't even get him in the corner. Like he slides out of the way and punches you. He's moving away, all sorts of different ways. We had headgear on, but headgear only keeps you from getting cuts. It doesn't keep your brain from rattling around. No, that's exactly right. They say that slipping punches takes 5,000 hours of training to do effectively, and I believe that. Some guys are really gifted at that. Roberto Duran, Floyd Mayweather's excellent at it. Not only can they put something on their punches, you never get a clean shot on them. It's always glancing off the forehead or something. Yeah, he sent it to me, Mary. He sent it to me. Dave, can I send that to Mary tomorrow? Can I forward that to her? I thought you did a good job, Dave. I mean, in street fighting, I bet you were better than average. It's funny, street fighting. Like when you watch Kimbo Slice, I mean, he was good in street, but when he went to MMA, he got his fucking ass handed to him. But I guarantee you, there are boxers and UFC guys that would get their ass kicked in a street fight. Some of them, mostly not, but there are street fighters out there that are just crazy. I thought you did a good job, Dave. Man, thank God for YouTube, man. I wouldn't. This equipment, fooling around with this equipment is so much easier with YouTube videos. It is a lot different. Yeah, you're exactly right. That's true, Dave. Yep. Yep. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he is, Susan. Yeah, he's definitely nuts. He's also a very skilled fighter. He's definitely gifted. Yeah, you're right. He's nuts. Now McGregor would get his ass kicked in the street. It's just a different way of fighting, and I'm not saying necessarily dirty. A ref protects a lot of things from happening. Let me give you an example. A standing 8 count, going down on one knee. You go down on one knee in the street, you're going to get your ass handed to you. You're not getting a standing eight count. There is a lot. There are some moves like a full body triangle is illegal in college wrestling because the rib can puncture a lung, stuff like that. Hey, Rick. Look at what Diaz did to Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor has 10 times the talent Diaz does. But he beat his ass.
Oh, wow, Dave.
Well, Dave, down around that area, did you go to any of Angel Man Freddy's fights? He was out of Gary. Diablo? Yeah, it was a long time ago. They did, Jeff. Yeah. You ever watch those street beefs on YouTube?
Oh, okay.
You want to watch a guy? Look up this guy, Annie. It's pronounced Hug, but it's spelled H-U-G. You'd think of it hug. Go look at some YouTube videos of him. He had what was called an axe kick. Look at his highlights. And I've never seen a guy throw an axe kick like that. They hardly ever throw them, and when they do, they're ineffective. But this guy knocked out droves of people with an axe kick. Andy Hugh, he died of cancer at a relatively young age. Yeah, actually, I was at some fights where I saw Miguel Torres, some MMA fights where I saw him. Yeah, I was going to all Stephan Bonner's stuff, and that's where I ran into him. Torres was a good guy, but once the just a naturally gifted fighter, but once it turned into a legitimate sport, he just couldn't cut the mustard at that level. Yeah, that bare knuckle stuff, isn't that crazy? And those guys don't even, Chris Lieben was doing that. And those guys don't even get paid that much. I don't know how these guys don't break their hands. Oh, no kidding, Dave. Huh. I saw him, I was down in Gary or Hammond or one of those places, and he was losing until the guy got him on his back and he gave an up kick from the ground and knocked the guy out. Angel Man Freddy's a hell of a good guy. I think he had a stroke. I haven't been able to verify that, but if you look him up on YouTube, something's going on there. I don't really know what. He was a hell of a fighter. I mean, a great amateur fighter, but when he went up to the pro rankings, he just didn't have the power. Watch the YouTube fight of Angel Man. Floyd Mayweather used to be a power puncher. Look when he fought Diego Corrales, and look when he fought Angel Man Freddy. And you can see the power he had back then. I mean, he knocked the shit out of these guys. And Diego Corrales at the time was knocking out everybody. If you look at most guys that fought, kickboxers, boxers, all of them, look at their middle knuckle. It's usually, there's a lot of calcium buildup on it. Even with gloves and stuff, those guys break their hands punching. Look at their middle knuckle. I mean, the power these guys generate is crazy. Look at Garcia, this lightweight or featherweight. His punching power is crazy. This Raleigh Romero who just lost to Tank Davis, he's a puncher too for a lightweight. Not that great of a boxer, but a puncher. If he lays one on you, it's lights out. Yeah, Ryan Garcia. Yeah, on the ground's where it's at. Yeah. I never get these pay-per-view UFC things. I watch them later. I don't think they're worth it. This Adesanya, I really like. He's a smart fighter, great defense, great striker, but he's boring to watch. Yeah, right, Mopar. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Oh, thanks, Dave. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just thinking that reach is an advantage, but it doesn't always work out that way. Take Mike Tyson as an example, who was a small heavyweight. The gift he had on getting inside to these guys that were way bigger than him is just phenomenal, amazing. Yeah, where you at, ICU? Hey, Emmett, how you doing? Yeah, I think the same thing too with, circling away from somebody's power. Yeah, it's a good rule of thumb. You're better off circling away from them. But I've seen guys knock people colder than a cucumber moving towards their power. It's not like absolute. It's not like 100% way to go all the time. That Adrian Bronner, who is, really kind of headed south, that Madonna beat his ass. He's never been the same ever since. But I've seen him knock people out walking backwards with a left hook. It's the sneakiest left hook ever. Hey, Melissa, how you doing? What do you got? COVID, Emmett? Do you have COVID? I didn't watch that, Michael. No. Yeah, Bernard Hopkins, great. Good guy, too. Watch the YouTube video where Oscar De La Hoya is promoting a fight with Zab Judah, and Bernard Hopkins is there with him. And, Oscar De La Hoya, for everything I can gather, seems like a dick behind the scenes. And Zab Judah calls him out. Try and find that. Zab Judah calls out Oscar De La Hoya. But it's interesting because Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins seem like two of the nicest guys in the world that are so non-confrontational. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya was a murderer as a boxer. And Zab Judah's getting in their ass for disrespecting them. And it was kind of fun to watch because Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins were just taking a high road and like trying to, take the gentlemanly way out. And Zab Judah wasn't going to allow for it, but it's fun to watch. It's when you think of two guys that were just slayers in the ring, and they're acting like they've never threw a punch in their life, and they're being real courteous and trying to bring things into order. I thought it was just kind of interesting to watch.
Oh, okay, Melissa.
Oh, I had it too, Emma. Yeah, I had it too. I still have the remnants of COVID. Yeah, it sucks, man. Yeah, I'll tell you, I got both shots, and I got both shots. I mean, the shot keeps you from dying. It doesn't keep you from feeling like shit. So I mean, you live through it. So I would get the shots now, but I wouldn't get down on myself about not getting them because, of course, you would have regretted the shots if you died and you didn't. So that's the main thing. Yeah, I was friends with Stephan Bonner when I lived in Chicago. I went to all his boxing fights. I went to all his local UFC fights. And then when I left, when he started living in Vegas, I just kind of lost touch with him. But I knew people that kept in touch with him. Stephan Bonner is a good guy. He was a personal trainer in the gym that I went to, Gold Coast Galleria. I mean, I've been out to dinner with him, lunch. Not that that means a fucking thing, but we weren't best friends, more of acquaintances. I remember when he got his ass kicked by Lyoto Machida down in Brazil. And I saw him riding his bike right after he got back, and I yelled to him, and he turned around and came back, and he told me that the guy that was his real coach couldn't go, and he was going to the Gracie thing, and there was some kind of passport issue, and the guy that he had didn't have ends, well, blah, blah, blah. But Stephan is a good guy, and it's a shame to see him where he's at right now. You're exactly right. And if you look on YouTube videos, you'll see where his condo just caught on fire. And I couldn't help but think to myself it was a money issue. And you'll also find where the cops pulled him out. I think that was his third drunk driving ticket. One thing I'm sure of, and that Dana White is a total fucking asshole. I mean, Stephan Bonner was good for the UFC, and he was a great commentator. He married a girl that did marketing. And then when they moved out to UFC, she did marketing for one of the casinos. And I just feel bad for him, man. It looks like he's turned into a dope addict. He's really aged. I mean, the guy looks like he's in his 50s. So now here he is, punch drunk. He thinks he has some cognitive issues as a result of all the blows, which I would believe because there was a guy that you couldn't knock out. But Stephan Bonner was a really good guy. Yeah, I really like the guy. And it's a shame to see him in this kind of shape. It's funny, though. I know guys that have went out to Las Vegas from the same health club that I went to. And this was like maybe 7-8 years ago. And they looked him up when they got out to Las Vegas. And then they said he was kind of like being a dick. If you wanted to hang around with him, you had to buy a cabana at one of these pools. It was like $2,500 or whatever. He went into partnerships with a guy in a topless bar. I think somebody fronted the money and they just used their name, and that didn't work. Then he tried to make it as a comedian for a while, and for a while he was doing day trading as a stockbroker. But I got an idea that things are not good for him at all. I know they had one kid. I think the wife's name's Andrea. But yeah, his life sucks, man. Yeah, but Forrest Griffin can't punch for shit. Forrest Griffin's, the game has evolved. I mean, Forrest Griffin has no power in his punches. Look at when he fought Anderson Silva and look at him. It looks like a girl punching. He made out way better financially than Stephan did. But this goddamn Dana White's a motherfucker, man. I mean, Randy Couture doesn't talk to him. Tito Ortiz doesn't talk to him. Not that that makes you a dick, but there's been some good guys there. That Brian Stan that have been loyal, and I mean, Dana White's rebuttal to the whole thing is these guys fight and they think that I owe them money for the rest of their lives, which there's an argument for that. I get it. But on the other hand, if the guys are doing good jobs at things that you've hired them for, why not keep them on? He's fucked. Kenny Florian's gone now, too. I don't know that it's a money issue and they're afraid to give you raises or whatever, but I'm 100% believer in karma. And this Dana White is going to get his karma one of these days. This guy is a big mouth motherfucker. He's a fucking asshole. Yeah, that's right. Lyoto Machida. He was getting his. I see Donald Cerrone retired the other way. He lost his last 7 fights. He seems like a good guy, too. Donald Cerrone. But nobody seems to leave on good terms for long with Dana White. What a fucking clown. But even like with John Jones. John Jones, I mean, you look at basketball, baseball, football, a lot of these old guys, Michael Jordan got like some crazy dollar amount you couldn't even get today. So did Tim Hardaway in their final year in the NBA. And it was kind of a send-off. It's like, look, you were good for the league. You brought a lot of attendance. We're making $300 million and we're giving you 35 of it. That's the way to go. But it's a philosophy. That's the way I would do it. That doesn't make me a better guy. But I guess if you're a shrewd businessman, you don't have to do it. You pay these guys what you feel like. And certainly the UFC is nothing like that at all. Yeah, and I'll tell you too, if you look at CTE and you look at concussions in football and stuff like that, you wait till you see these UFC guys when they age. If they think getting a concussion with a padded football helmet is bad, wait till you see the ramifications of the cumulative damage of some of these UFC fighters. Yeah, I agree, Melissa. Yep. If I had a kid, though, I mean, I may teach him some self-defense stuff, but there is no way in hell I would want my kid playing football or MMA. Absolutely not. I don't want him riding a motorcycle either. I know better. Now, if you're some crazy Christian that thinks God's got a plan for you and it doesn't matter if you're on a motorcycle or you're playing powder puff flag football with your gay buddies, I don't think that way. I think it's risk analysis. I skydived for about 15 years. I've been a pilot for 40 years. Those are calculated risks, which are very safe. But I love motorcycles, but you're not going to find me on one. It's probabilities. But if you're a religious kook, you think that, God has a plan for you and either you're going to get hit or you're going to get out. Well, good luck to you. It's the same nut jobs that don't get the inoculations for the COVID virus. They don't have the capacity to understand. It's not perfect. But when I have a layperson tell me they're not getting the shots, I don't even want to hear their explanation as to why. It'd be like asking a 1-day-old duckling about a PhD dissertation. Yeah, but if you look at it like now, and I'm not saying this is true, but let me give you an example on this, Chris. I'm talking about the purest form of rational equity, okay? Like I watch these crime shows, I like them. And a big criticism of the first 48 is that they're discriminatory and they prey on minorities that aren't smart enough or don't have the wherewithal, the financial wherewithal to get an attorney. And I have to agree with that. If you look at the first 48, it's mostly underprivileged, poor, broke people from the hood. Now, does that mean they should get away from murder? It should not. It does not. Do they get the same fair shake somebody that was accused of murder that wasn't in that lifestyle? They did not. So even though I'm not on board 100%, I think there's a valid argument that the first 48 and found around these police departments, in a theoretical way, exploit minorities. They get these poor bastards in there that don't know enough to keep their mouth shut, and that's what gets them 50 years in prison. Now, the purists will say, well, that's good. We need to get these killers off the street as much as we can, but what about due process? That's the same reason why that fucking dickhead on Dateline, Chris Hansen, the show was canceled because they're going around catching these perverts, which I'm all for, but you've got to obey by the law. You can't entrap people. And if you want my opinion, and believe me, I'm totally against criminal sexual assault, doing anything with kids. I am. But you can't make exceptions in the law for things that you think are disproportionately wrong. And that's why that stupid show was canceled. Because once that got taken out of being a popular show on TV and it went into a civil court, and you had someone with some fucking brains spell it out to a jury, they got their fucking ass handed to them. It denied people due process. It did. I mean, you got a fucking TV crew and that fucking asshole running around on top of it. Now, it made for great TV ratings, and it was fun to watch. I watched some of the reruns, but that doesn't make it right. Oh, I don't think that of you, Dave. I think you're a good guy. Yeah, I think it is too. I think it is too, Chris. It's a key value. It's a key value. I knew a gay guy that was in Detroit that I met when I was young, and a good guy, ended up being like a great friend. And he told me he used to go into restrooms. These fucking cops would like be in the urinal next to you, and they'd get a hard on, they'd wink at you, and you'd say, hey, fuck yeah, let's go down by the river and blow each other. And right away out came the handcuffs. Now that eventually ended up being considered entrapment, and a lot of the charges were dropped. And look, I'm not a person for breaking the law, but that is entrapment. Which brings me to this too. Look, I am totally against, you can't make exceptions to fit your narrative. I'm totally against like older people exploiting younger people for sex. It's wrong. And you have to understand that. And they should be punished. Here's the argument, and I'm curious what you guys think about it. So you want to go out, I think it's entrapment, which is illegal. Now, if they made entrapment not illegal and a tool in law enforcement, well, I'd agree with you. But here's what happens. You get on the internet, you go on there, and you're on these fucking, I don't even know where they're at, these chat sites with younger people. And all of a sudden, you're a 55-year-old overweight cop portraying yourself as a 13-year-old girl. And before you know it, they're talking dirty and what do you look like nude and all this kind of weird shit. And you go to meet at the hotel, which is fucked up. I get that. But you still have to obey by the law to be able to prosecute these people. So you show up at the hotel, you knock on the door, you say, where's Sally? Out come 50 cops, searchlights, handcuffs, and you're fucked. Now there's a legal argument that there's no real victim. The whole fucking thing was made up, which is true. Now, when you're talking to someone that's ignorant, uneducated, doesn't know, up from down, they're going to say it's okay. We need to prosecute these people any way we can. I kind of get that. I understand your logic behind it, but it's just like the same poor argument that the death penalty should be allowed because it's too expensive to incarcerate people in prison for the rest of their life. It's got fucking nothing to do with it. It's an ancillary reason, but that's not the crux of the issue. So if you've got someone that's make-believe, the argument is there's no real victim. So, I mean, I got like legal problems with this. He does, Melissa, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't make, I mean, it's terrible, like these online predators and this kind of shit. And if you look at studies of people that have been sexually molested and all that shit, it's a lifelong personal incarceration. It fucks with you with relationships. it's terrible. I mean, you rob someone of their innocence and you violate them. I think it's bad. I agree totally. But on the same token, I don't think you should get a get out of jail free card by being able to create make believe people that couldn't be violated because they're not real to begin with. You know what I mean? This is legal theory. I just struggle with it. Yeah, it's crazy. Speaking of legal consent, I see that Sig Hansen. There's another fucking weirdo. That guy that's on the deadliest job, those crab fishermen. He just pled guilty to fondling a 16-year-old. And his biological daughter is suing him in court for molesting her when she was a young child. And he's had a couple issues of beating up Uber drivers. And my guess this guy's a fucking freak. That just goes to show you how things have been lightened up. I don't know this for sure. I know those guys get paid for that show, and if you Google it, it's really kind of unclear what their compensation is. I know that Sig Hansen sued the show at one time, but I got an idea that that show is super popular because even after getting sued from some of the main characters, they kept on producing new episodes. And I'll agree, there is something fascinating about it. You know, you got all these dopers and drunks and parolees out there that can't get hired anywhere else, so they go out there and make 50 grand for 3 months catching crabs, but any day the goddamn boat could sink, tip over, fucking get your head chopped off by a crab pot, whatever. I mean, it's an interesting mix of everything that you wouldn't want to experience as a young person, and I guess it's just kind of the car wreck mentality that I suffer from. Because when I watch it, I feel sorry for these stupid fuckers. I bet they don't even have a GED, and they're out there trying to make money that everybody else makes by doing an 8 to 5 that spent 4 years in college, but they're out there risking their lives, floating around in these fucking boats when it's 30 below zero catching crabs. Oh, really, Melissa? Yeah, Charmer, he probably is, yep. Right, have a good day, Jeff. Have a good day. I mean, you can't do this goddamn shit, man. I'm all for the law. I get it. I've read studies on it. There's an age of consent, but even I think that age of consent too, I think that's even too young sometimes. You don't know shit from Shinola when you're young like that. It's fucked up. It's super exploitive. Yeah. But if I had to place odds, I'd give you 3-1 odds that Hansen's a real motherfucker. There's just, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. I could be wrong, but there's just too much shit in this pervert's background to make him look bad. Hey, Waiting, how you doing? Yeah, send me that. Send me that, Melissa. I appreciate it if you would. And I'm not knocking these guys. I'm just saying that it's the same way with cooks. If you if you pay attention to that show and you Google the players in the show and the people that are around, the people that are not, the crab guys, and I'm not even going to tell you that there's anything wrong with this. It's just a lifestyle. But there are a lot of dopers, drunks, criminal records, wife beaters. I mean, it isn't, you wouldn't want to take everybody that worked on a crab boat or owned one or sailed the fucking thing or was the captain to live in your neighborhood. I mean, basically, they seem like a lot of white trash. It's Tom Reed, R-E-E-D, 1956 at gmail.com. Yeah, it's not right, man. I don't think it's right. Now, on the other hand, I mean, if you're not a pervert, none of this makes sense to you. I'm just, I'm not religious, but for an example, I'll say I guess I was blessed that I never thought that way. I was fortunate enough to think that was an okay thing to do. Because I think when you're fucked with that kind of omen, when you have some fucking weird bullshit, and you're a serial killer or a pedophile or any of that weird shit, I don't think they can help it. Yeah, you know what I mean? But half those motherfuckers have warrants out for them. You know, they're fucking overdosing in hotels. Just go Google overdoses in hotels by crab fishermen. Once they get off that boat and you know they don't have any dope to buy, it's probably a good place for them. You know, their life sucks anyway. It'd be like putting Maddie and Gerald on a crab boat. Gets them off the drugs. They make a bunch of money, last them a whole time till the next season. But while they're on there, I mean, for a druggie, it's a pretty good gig. You just got to be sober for 3 months. You make a disproportionate amount of money compared to what you'd make if you weren't on a crab boat. Yeah, you may drown and freeze to death any day, but your life's so fucked up anyway that that's not that much of a downer. And you just keep doing it until something gives. And something gives is what happens to a lot of those guys. And that is they found them overdosed in hotel rooms. Hey, Luna. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for these fuckers. You know, their darkness, their demons. Oh, that's good waiting. Yeah, I don't know whether it's COVID. I'd like to blame it on COVID, but I think I was this way before COVID. I'm just kind of like in a fog all the time. I don't know if it's, you know, I'd like to blame it on my depression and shit. The one thing these pills do is I do get more done, but I still don't, like, feel that good. There goes another turboprop. Way up there. Hauling ass. Wish these goddamn clouds would disappear. You know, they canceled the king crab season in Alaska. That's why you see all those stupid shows now where, you know, they signed a contract with these guys. They probably got to pay them whether they work or not. That's why you see them fishing in Florida and all that stupid, silly shit. Who gives a fuck about that? That's because they couldn't crab fish anymore. You know, you'd think I'd miss flying, but I don't. It's so goddamn expensive now and regulated and bullshit. Purple haze in my brain. Oh, thank you, Melissa. I think too, like with that Sig Hansen, you know, a lot of shows that'd be the end of your career when you pled guilty to something like that, and you know, there's a clause in a lot of professional athletes' advertising contracts, and the way it reads is it's called. What do they call it? Let me think about this for a second. Unprofessional notoriety. And the way that's defined is you don't need to be convicted. So if you're LeBron James and somebody accuses you of grabbing their ass in a nightclub, you're fucked. Unfavorable notoriety. That's what it's called. It's the unfavorable notoriety clause. Sorry about that. I don't know what caused that. I don't know what caused that. Yeah, I don't think that kind of your sponsors will drop you in a heartbeat. Yeah, big time. No, they're out of their contract when that happens. I mean, I think in the case of this Sig Hansen thing, that when you're a crab fisherman, it's like, I mean, is it going to keep him from catching crabs? It's not. It's not like he's hawking somebody's tennis shoes. Hey, Grandma Bird. So, you know, I guess they probably did a straw poll and it didn't matter. Crazy. Nuts. Did Mary go to bed? Hang on, I'm gonna get up and grab a couple of pretzels. Good girl, hon. Hey, Philip, how you doing? Right on. Oh, wow. Philip, how's your chain? Did I tell you I was talking to this lady at the John Deere dealership? They've got filters for some of these big John Deere tractors. They're $4,000 each. Yeah, it's true. It's true, Bullpuck. Hey, Pug, how you doing? Oh, everybody's are boring, Philip. Couldn't be worse than mine. Boring is good sometimes. Yeah, I believe that. Once you get on YouTube shit lists, they'll do anything they can to make you go south. Yeah, mine too, Philip. Wish somebody'd come out with and compete with YouTube. Oh, I believe it can. No, you're right. And none of them are the same. Nah, I tried a couple of them and just wasn't the same. No, yeah, they don't. No, they don't have the unlimited funding is what they don't have. Yeah, BitChute sucks. I uploaded one video on there, I think. Hey, Danny. I didn't, Philip. I didn't. I didn't perfect it. Down in Georgia, it's illegal to be talking on a cell phone or taking a video while you're driving. That's why I have my pet rhesus monkey hold the phone for me while I'm driving. I say, "Get on the console, you little fucker. You're not getting banana tonight." And he hops up there and he holds my cell phone. And I beat his ass and I don't change his diaper for 3 days if he fucks that up. So I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I don't think it's easy. It's I set it on a little wooden table next to me and I hold my hand in my right hand and I switch off between my food and my beer in my left hand. It's not that hard. No, that muscle will burn up. It's actually a rotator cuff. That muscle, I think years of jacking off have built mine up to superhuman strength. The phone's nothing. My advice to you, Philip, would be to jack off more. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it too, Chris. Yeah. Here, you actually get a fine and points on your license if they catch you. You can't even touch your cell phone when you're driving. But like I said, my suggestion to you guys is get a pet rhesus monkey. Now, it may seem a little odd to you, is why I never show this monkey. It's an agreement we had. But I was reading about it tonight. Actually, it's a fine every time. It's 1 point and then 2 points and then 3 points. It keeps going up if you keep getting caught. You're not supposed to touch your phone down here in any way. It's weird. I know what you mean, though, but I can hold that fucking phone up forever now. Another thing, too, that's important is you got to have a place where your elbow can rest, like on a console or one of those arm rests on a vehicle. Just holding it with no support, yeah, it'll get to you after a short time. Glass is right, yeah. Oh, really, Philip? Now, you can do this hand for, I do that once in a while. I'll tell you when I do it, when I'm in heavy traffic. I'll tell you where you get the tickets. I don't know this for sure. But, on this I-20 route, which I go on when I'm on the expressway, these fuckers are hauling ass all the time. If you're in the right lane doing 70, they're getting pissed. They'll get right on your ass. Well, you know how it is. If you're fucking around a phone, you tend to drive slower. Excuse me. And I think what gets you into trouble, you're fucking around in the right lane. And before you know it, in a course of like 30 miles, you've got 100 cars that have passed you to the left. And if one of those is a cop car that just looked over, you're fucked. Because they really pursue that shit here. Yeah, I don't think any stars tonight. No moon either. I should have saw the moon by now. Maybe not, though. What time is it, you guys? No shit, Philip. Wow. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it then, or I'd just put it on the one on the rearview mirror. I do that when I have the thing in the truck. Oh, 1 a.m. Okay. Yeah, the moon comes up later and later every night, so I don't know if it's overcast or it's just too early. Yeah, that's right, Dave. No, but I believe that. Yesterday we had like probably 15 bolts of lightning, and I drove around today and looked at the property, and I thought for sure there had to have been something that got scorched, but there wasn't. No, I believe that though. What I've learned down here, man, just like Florida, when you can see that lightning coming, get the fuck out of there. No, I bet he was killed. 9 out of 10 people survive lightning strikes. Oh, here comes Jupiter, right above the tops of the trees. Oh, yeah, that means I'm going to see the moon. Yep. See Jupiter down there? You can't see it yet, but it's coming over the tops of the trees. Oh, yeah. Looking good. Wow. No, and it's kind of a mixed bag on the damages of getting struck by lightning. Sometimes your heart stops, nobody's around to start it again, you're fucked. But some people go unscathed, and others have lifelong problems. I hope it never happens to me, unless I'm depressed. Yeah, you do that down here. I dare you to do that down here. And I've noticed down here, just the short time I've been here, you're always thinking the highest obstacle, metal, all that fucking bullshit. Well, that isn't the way it works down here. I've seen this fucking bolts of lightning strike something fucking 12 inches above the ground, out in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's weird. It's not all that tall shit, metal like they lead you to believe. I'll tell you one thing, if I do this man cave in this maintenance building, I'm going to put a fucking lightning rod in the top of that motherfucker. For sure. Wow, Pug. No, it strikes like a motherfucker down here. When I was in Michigan, there'd be lightning. I'd go out on the porch. But not down in this goddamn place. No fucking way. I've seen what I've drove around, the property here and saw where that shit hit. And it's just like so random and like not what you're thinking. Not tall and all that bullshit. Yeah, I got a good telescope. I just haven't set it up lately. Too lazy. Oh, Philip, they hit a power line with them? No, you're right, Pool. Yeah, the cops are everywhere around here. Yeah, you're right. I've noticed that, Philip, let me ask you this. I've noticed as I've gotten older that I'm sloppier and not as careful as I used to be. Like, I can remember when I was younger, I wasn't backing into anything. I wasn't landing an airplane with gear up. But as I get older, I worry about that fucking shit. And I've actually disciplined myself to when I get in one of these pieces of equipment or a vehicle, I force myself to just be around, aware of my surroundings rather than just it kind of being automatic when I was younger. So my question to you is, as you've gotten older, have you realized that you've gotten sloppier with regard to backing up and that kind of thing in the truck? I've noticed too, this F-250 and this F-450, it's got backup and forward cameras. But what can happen in those is if you're just depending on those, you can be backing up and turning and take the front fender out on a pole or something because it doesn't have side cameras. Hey, Deanna, how you doing? Yeah, I think a lot of people have that problem on here, Deanna. How are you? Yeah, I agree, Luna. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, late night people, that's for sure. My buddy, but prior to COVID, he was like a real early to bed guy, and this COVID's fucked him up. He asked me tonight what time you go into bed. It's about 3 or 4. I sleep till noon, 1 o'clock. I don't do shit. Yeah, you need to take more than Pug. You need to take a bigger dose. It wasn't enough. There's no downside to trazodone. Take a bigger dose. How much did you take, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, okay, dear. Yeah, 100 milligrams is nothing. Go up to 150 or 200. I mean, talk to your doctor, but you should be groggy and falling asleep. You're not taking enough. Of trazodone, Frisky? Oh, okay, Luna. Yeah, I know what you meant, Deanna. Yeah, there's some pretty good studies on long-term use of Benadryl for sleep and dementia. Yeah, it's not enough. No, you should be groggier than hell and falling asleep in 20 minutes. I wouldn't tell you to do that with the benzodiazepine or Ambien or any of those. The trazodone's like no problem. I think melatonin. If you're like somebody that's got like, you just got this idea in your mind, you can't sleep. I mean, if I gave you a placebo, you'd probably sleep. If there's a physiological reason or like a depressive response, I don't think melatonin does shit. I mean, if it did, or L-tryptophan, turkey, a glass of milk. When you're a real kook like me, you need a lab concocted medicine that just short circuits that bullshit and it's lights out. Yeah, Luna, yeah. Benadryl, yeah. There's some pretty good studies on dementia for long-term uses of Benadryl for sleep. Yeah, I tried Ambien. That was really bad for me. It just didn't work. See Jupiter out there a little bit? Kind of hard to see. Yeah, well, it's like, a lot of these things, they don't really know long-term effects. That's the advantage of getting older like I am now. When I read long-term effects, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to be taking this shit that long. I'm not going to live long enough. See, I think, now, if it works for you, good for you. But if you look at placebos, they're right up there with the real McCoy. My opinion, from what I've read and people I've talked to, I think CBD is total fucking bullshit. But that's just my opinion. If it helps, good for you. Good for you, dear. Good. Well, because for the other 50%, it works. It works for placebos outperform regular pharmaceuticals in a lot of double-blind studies. That means the patient doesn't know what they're taking and the doctor doesn't know what they're giving them. But there's always 50% of the people or close to it that are benefiting from the real McCoy and 50% that are benefiting from the placebo. That's why. Yeah, I think CBD is a bunch of fucking bullshit. Super effective. It's a placebo. Harvard's done some really good studies on placebos. And actually, they have one. I haven't read the results of the latest one, but they even took it a step further. They were telling you that you were taking a placebo. You knew it from the beginning. And I haven't read the results of that study, though. Yeah, I think CBD is bullshit. And if you look at the stuff that people really claim that helps them, like for pain and anxiety and sleep and all that fucking bullshit, it's CBD and THC. To me, from what I've read and people I've talked to, if it doesn't have THC in it, it's fucking bullshit. The power of the mind, Bopak. You've been told it's going to help you. There's shit tons of publications on placebos. Yeah, I do think that. Let me put it this way. I think that that's what the evidence shows. I don't think you could do that for me. If you told me, look, I got a THC, a fucking gummy, and I got another one that's some new fucking bullshit, I'd like to think that I wouldn't respond to the sugar pill like I would for the one that had THC in it. But I haven't really tried that experiment on myself. Yeah, Dave, that's what I think too. But you know, Dave, that's subjective too. That's our experience. So if Deanna takes CBD and it makes her sleep, more power to her. Yeah, I think that works. Remember, with THC, less is better. There's all sorts of people that go to the emergency room for gummies. They think, oh, gummies, it's like eating a gummy, take as much as I want. False. You don't want to take any more than 2.5 milligrams. You have a fucking panic attack. And here's the good news, is no one's ever died from taking a gummy or smoking too much marijuana. But it'll make you think you're going to die. And if you're worried about sobering up, that $4,000 emergency medical bill you get will do that. Drink a lot of water and just ride it out. Less is better on THC. It's not like drinking. Oh, it does have the THC, yeah. Well, there you go. That's what's helping you, Deanna. It's not the CBD. Right, Chris, yeah. Yeah, no, that'll happen, Looney, yeah. I've talked to some people. There was a clerk at a Red Roof Inn I stayed to, and she said she had a panic attack. She almost called 911 on the way home. And that's because of some stupid fucking friend giving her some gummies, and she took like 10 milligrams the first time, and it's like big, huge mistake. Yeah, huge. And she said it scared her, and she doesn't want to take anymore. That's fucked up, man. It's not candy. This is not gummies. Less is better. Yeah, that's how my buddy is here. He's tried it, and it makes him anxious, even in little doses. I mean, I never smoked marijuana, but I have taken some gummies. I'll tell you this though, is like it does enhance things, it makes it better. Like I'd like to go to an art museum with a gummy or see a good movie. Yeah, it enhances things in the right dosage. Yeah, Luna, dude, you just took too much. That's why. And another thing too, drink a lot of water. It'll dehydrate the hell out of you. Yeah, you don't want to take 50 milligrams. No way. Oh, I believe that. No, 50 milligrams way. I think it's 5 milligrams, not 50. 50, you definitely go crazy. Yeah, you're right, Luna. You don't want to fuck with 50. It doesn't even come in 50s. So I think you mean 5. Yeah, no, you took too much. Yeah. Less is better. No, I believe it, Lena. Yeah, I believe it. No, right. That's exactly right. Yep. What a fucking shame. We all got to take this shit just to want to find happiness. No, I agree, Frisky. Well, the Christians will tell you it's the devil. See, that's the thing in the theory of evolution that doesn't jive. Because in the theory of evolution, you should evolve away from things that are bad for you, like alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. And you don't. It's the other way, which is a big negative in that theory. Yeah, it's a nightmare, that's for sure. Yeah, the ketamine seems to work. I talked to a couple people that were seem to get relief. Excuse me. Hey, Christine. Yeah. Yeah, good luck on that one, Deanna. Yeah, maybe it will. Yeah, you need a different one then, Christine. You need a different one if they're not helping. Well, up here comes, boy, old Jupiter is really hauling ass across the sky tonight. Just remember this, there's a protocol for everything, and it seems to me when you breach that, you just go off the rails.
That's right, Luna. Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
In a comfortable, secure, safe, non-threatening way, you just need to keep on moving forward and trying different things.
Yeah, you need a change, Christine.
You're probably not seeing a psychiatrist. You're seeing a family practitioner, which is, it just isn't schooled in that.
Yeah, that's not uncommon.
Get that gene mapping test. It's only about $200 now. It tells you what you'll respond to. And the way that test works is it shows, I know this sounds crazy, but it shows how your liver metabolizes, what leads to better results.
No, I know.
But if you look at alcohol, it affects your REM, your deep sleep, which is why you don't feel well rested when you get up. It seems like it helps, but there's pretty good evidence out there to suggest that it affects your deep sleep, your restorative sleep. Yeah, get that gene mapping test.
You want to go inside, hon? Want to go, Betty? Yeah, I know the feeling. How you doing?
You want to go, Betty? You want to go, Betty, hon? Daisy doesn't want to be out here anymore. Okay, hon. You go, Betty, if you want. You want to go, Betty, honey?
Day laborers whose faces were not permitted to photograph testify that on the morning.
Yeah, you got to be careful with serotonin. I've read shit tons of study on serotonin, and I can tell you this: fucking camera's focusing for shit. I can tell you this about serotonin: that they always mention serotonin with relationship to depression. But when you look at the studies, there are people with super low serotonin that have never been depressed in their lives, and there are people with low serotonin that are suicidal. So even though there's a link to migraines and depression and serotonin, there's something else that's still kind of in the dark ages. So I wouldn't rely on serotonin only. Like this bullshit I'm on right now, it does make me get more work done, but I'm still depressed, so it isn't perfect, but it's better than nothing. But I'd just keep trying different drugs if I were you. It does, Luna. It does mess your sleep quality up for sure. It affects your deep sleep. Yeah, fucking serotonin. That's kind of a flimsy fucking theory. What's going on? I just let that fucking stupid dog in.
I know she's bulking in there. She's very willing to what I want.
She woke you up?
Yeah, she's okay.
You stupid mutt. Come out here. I thought she was going to get into bed with you. God damn thing. I'll put you to sleep, Daisy. You keep doing that. She just went in 30 seconds ago.
She's okay.
What was she doing, barking?
Just, you know her.
In your bedroom?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it was good, man.
Goddamn crazy dog.
I'm gonna wipe her hand with her back to you.
I'll rip that bladder out. No, she's licking my leg. What a kook. She thought I was going to bed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I was out here fucking around. Were you sleeping pretty good?
You know what you do in the chat?
Yeah, doing a chat, yeah. Hey, look out there. You see that light way out there? That little light?
Oh, yeah.
That's Jupiter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, another half hour it'll be Mars.
No shit.
Yeah, in an hour it'll be the moon. It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's cool. Jupiter? Is Jupiter right now?
Yeah, Jupiter, yep. Which dwarfs the Earth.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Come on, Dave. Let's go, baby. All right, good night.
Give her a Benadryl. She keeps fucking with you.
She's fine.
Yeah, good night. So you Daisy, you know, you've been around these animals long enough. She's pissed that I didn't come in to go to bed. So she woke Marty up. Went into his bed and woke him up. He doesn't even get mad. Yeah, you need different medications, Christine. Yeah, I tried that Bopac. I never tried Ritalin. See, most of these drugs are all linked to serotonin levels. It's more to it than that. You know, the efficacy of all antidepressants is only about 55%. So if it's only serotonin, that shows you how flawed it is. Oh yeah, they get about $10 a pill for that in the street. Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. Lots of water.
Yeah, but daffodil's good. Make sure you take it early in the morning. You drink a lot of water. They've had some double-blind studies on the daffodil, though, that said that caffeine does the same thing. Oh, tired. Yeah, that's right, hey Pug. Yep. Oh wow. Oh, good for you, Luna. Yeah, it's weird, Dave. Yeah, it is weird, Luna. Yeah, robots. Yeah, that's my girl, Christine. I knew I could count on you. Good night, Luna. Sweet dreams. Yeah, have a good day tomorrow. Good night, Sharon. Have a good day tomorrow. Yeah, I know the feeling, Christine. COVID sucks. Yeah, I know he does. I did get both shots. Yeah, I did. Yep. No, he has COVID. Yeah, COVID. No, he's got COVID. Okay, Rhonda. Hey, Nicole. Oh, you better get him, Christine. Yeah, I know the feeling, Nicole. Oh, wow, Rhonda. Yeah, I believe it. What do you mean by that, Nicole? You like to get a good laugh. What is funny about that to you? Yeah, everywhere around here too. Yep. Oh wow, hey bud. Yeah, it's gonna be hotter than motherfucker all next week. Christine, is it hot up there in Illinois? Michigan, I mean. Oh. Yeah, I see him down here, Christine. Right, Nicole. Hey guys, I think I'm gonna go to bed. Trying to go to bed anyway. So appreciate you guys coming on tonight. I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Hey Pug, Nicole, Chris, Christine, Rhonda. Good night, Frisky. See you, Hey Pug. Have a good day tomorrow, you guys. Yeah, goodbye, Rhonda. Anybody I missed? Yeah, thank you, Rhonda. Good night, Deanna. See you, Dave. Bye, Christine.